I'm from Central America, and I kind of walked here when I was 15.
You walked here.
Yeah. Do you know what a coyote is?
Those are people who bring people over the border.
Yeah, for a payment. It cost my mom about $10,000 for the trip.
She sent just you?
Yeah. Hello?
Hi, what is your name?
It's Rolando.
Rolando, what's going on?
Well, I sent you the text. You want to hear how I got to the U.S.?
Tell me as if you sent me nothing.
Bet. So, I've been in the U.S. for about, I don't know, now it's been 11 years. And I didn't really get here, the plain way, per se. I'm from Central America, and, I kind of walked here when I was 15.
You walked here?
Yeah.
From where?
Central America. I don't want to say the country, but it's Central America.
Why don't you want to say the country?
I don't know. I don't want to put a specific country to it. Well, I guess everybody from Central America does it. I'm Salvadorian.
Salvadoran? How far away is El Salvador from the U.S.? And what's the walking? How long did it take you to walk there?
I guess I shouldn't say walk. I mean, I did take some, car transportation here and there. But it was with do you know what a coyote is?
Oh shit! Yeah. Like a coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So,
those are people who like they bring people over the border.
yeah, for a payment. So it's actually it cost my mom, I believe, about $10,000 for the trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she sent just you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was just me.
Wow.
I basically, it started at 5 a.m. No, 3 a.m. in El Salvador. I was, where they put the luggage in the buses at the bottom? There was 4 kids at the bottom to cross from El Salvador to Guatemala.
Wow.
And then once you're on the other side, then somebody from that side picks you up and then essentially drives you up to the Mexico border. Because, Mexico still doesn't like immigrants coming from the bottom either, which is interesting to hear, right? But once you do cross over to Mexico, then they pay a cartel a fee to get over or whatever, and they allow you to get over. And once you cross over, then they get you onto a minibus, essentially, and then you drive through all of Mexico until you get to the border. And at the border, right before the river, I don't know if this is too much information at once.
No, go ahead. I am following.
Okay. So once you get to the border, they have a house right before the river crossing onto the U.S., right? Now, the crazy thing is that, at the time I was 15, I thought I was only going to see people from, Latin America. There was so many different people from so many different countries. I'm talking India, China, all the way down from Brazil, and people that, you wouldn't expect to be there. It was super strange. And there was this Indian guy that had some crazy gold chains. He looked like he was loaded with money, So basically, at this point, we're right before the river, right? Now, we get a guide that knows the path on how to make it to the U.S. And I mean, I don't really care because it's, you know, it's a long time ago now, but and I'm also not illegal anymore, by the way. I've gone through the whole system and was able to get a green card. But once you get the guide, I remember we crossed the river at night and we had to wait at the other side of the river, and we heard like a loud splash next to us. And on that, you know, we didn't know what it was, and I looked over and it was like an alligator. Obviously we're freaking out, but we still have to wait for the guide at the other side of the river for him to reach us. So he finally makes it to us, and I believe we walked for 2 nights. We would only walk during the night because during the day, you know, immigration could see you or whatever. And once you make it to the other side, then a pickup truck just picks you up and you got to run to it. Because if you don't, you might be left behind. Even though you've paid $10,000 to be there and to get help, they don't care. And then once you're in Texas at this point, right? Once you're in Texas, they ask for like an additional $2,000 for you to be free, or the cartel basically sends you back.
How did you get the $2,000?
So it was kind of like an additional like fee that they wanted. And I remember at the time my mom had like, you know, obviously she's already paid $10,000. So how is she going to get, you know, more money? And she told me that she ended up borrowing money from everybody that she could, and she got the money together.
Wow.
And was able to pay it.
So and did they take her $10,000 and then say they were going to do everything? And then once they got you there, be like, hey, we need another $2,000 or else we'll send you back type shit?
Pretty much. Yeah,
Damn.
Pretty much. Because at that point, they have you in Texas, and there's like plenty of articles that you can see everywhere. But like, there's a lot of like cartel activity like near the border in Texas, right? So they'll rent like a whole house, and they'll have a lot of immigrants come to that one house as a hub, and then they send them across the U.S.
Those cartel guys are real jerks.
Dude, they're like, it's a crazy, like, how it's kind of wild how organized they are. You know?
So I'm curious about a few things. What
go ahead.
was it that inspired your mom in the first place to send you from El Salvador to America? What was the thought process? What was waiting for you in America?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of, what's it called? MS-13.
MS-13?
Yeah.
No, sir. What is that?
So at some point, MS-13 was the most dangerous, or one of the most dangerous gangs in the world. And it started in the U.S. during a civil war in Central America. I believe it was around like towards the end of the 80s, 70s, if I'm not too wrong there. But there was a civil war in Central America, which a lot of Americans don't know about. And it was in El Salvador. A lot of people migrated to the U.S. during that civil war. They saw the gangs around California, and a lot of those, you know, Hispanic people there ended up making their own gangs, and then they got deported back to El Salvador. Now, because of those gangs, I had to leave the country. They typically want you to join the gang around like 15, 16, 17 years old. And at that time, it was like crazy dangerous. Like you couldn't go outside with like anything branded, like wearing anything branded. So like if you had Nike shoes, forget about it. They were going to steal them. Now the country has become a completely different place. Like I would argue it's safer than the U.S., which is crazy to think, but it's completely different. I'm even thinking about moving back.
Interesting. Okay, hold on to those thoughts because I have more questions. So basically, it's like a draft almost. It's like you either join the gang or you'll be terrorized by it. Those are your two options.
Or killed.
Yeah.
It was usually killed.
Yeah.
What I
happened?
had like.
Go ahead.
I had a couple friends that I grew up with, and they're no longer around. So it's wild that I had the opportunity to be able to leave.
What happened to your mom?
She's still in the U.S. with me.
Oh, when did she come?
So that's the thing. So I kind of missed that, I guess. But she came to the U.S. first. The idea was for her to be in the U.S. for 2 years and buy a house in El Salvador and move back. That didn't happen. She ended up staying in the U.S. and then she got me to come over to the U.S. instead to have a better life. And yeah.
So, there were two questions. Oh yes, why do you want to come back to El Salvador, and why do you think it's better than the U.S. now?
I wouldn't say it's like 100% better than the U.S., but I don't know. I feel like this whole political stuff that's been going on, I'm a little tired of it, and it's just I have had so many racist things said to me, and it's just I'm not trying. I usually try not to let it get to me, but it gets exhausting after a while,
What part of town? Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
And owning I really want to buy a house.
Yeah.
And even if you pay off the whole thing, you still got to pay taxes on it yearly. Where if I was in El Salvador and I own 20 acres, I don't got to pay taxes for nothing.
Is that real true? You don't have to pay property tax in El Salvador?
As far as I know, no. Yeah, my mom actually just finished building a house in El Salvador, and she just paid taxes on the land that she bought, and that's about it.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that countries exist where you don't have to pay property taxes on your land. Because it's weird. In the U.S., at least, it's like you never actually... There's never like you pay off your shit and then you never have to pay anything ever again. It's like you pay off your shit and then you got to pay all these extra fees forever until you die. That's
the thing is that like even like let's say you own the house and then you're going through some bad times and you can't pay the taxes. They're gonna take it away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been in the U.S. for like 10 years now. It's hopefully my accent is not too thick, but no, I have had my ups and downs in the U.S. But it's definitely a not a place to retire at. That's for sure. I don't know if you've seen a lot of people are retiring in Mexico from the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, my whole my YouTube feed is all this like retire for $40 a month in, this Southeast Asian or Latin American or Central American country. That's all the videos. I mean, no, America is a terrible place to retire. It's such a expensive place to live. Like if you take American dollars anywhere outside the U.S., you're balling, and then I assume like if you were making your money in like in Mexico, like in pesos, and you fucking came up to the U.S., like you just get fucked.
That and like even down to like the fruit, the produce, everything is healthier. I recently went back to visit some family in El Salvador, and I was kind of mind-boggled at how cheap everything was. Like, I think, like 6 of us ate. We went out to eat, and I think I only spent like $40.
Crazy. Dude,
yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, 6 people going out to eat in America is about $340,000.
So, especially, I live in the New England area, and my God, everything is so expensive over here.
Are you in Boston?
Yeah.
Cool.
Near there. But by the way, I wanted to ask you something. I've always, I've listened to your, I mainly listen to you on the podcast, by the way.
Cool.
I don't really clock in on Twitch, but I try to as much as I can. I thought it would be cool, and I don't know if you think this would be, interesting or not, but I thought it would be cool to have a Spanish version of the Gek.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be like, it's like a take on the Gek, but it would be like a parrot, but it's in Spanish.
Are you saying you want to dress up as a parrot and take phone calls in Spanish?
I would love to, yeah, but I didn't know if it would be like cliche or like, rude to do something like that.
I don't give a fuck. I don't own the concept of taking phone calls.
Yeah.
That would be insane. People have been doing this for forever. People have been doing this since, in radio days. It's so fun. It's so fun. I get DMs like this of people being like, can I do a call-in show, or is that encroaching our territory? And I'm like, dude, people have been doing man on the street interviews and phone calls forever. I don't own this shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, but isn't Delilah like still on or something like that?
See, I don't even. Yeah, there's a billion stuff like this, but but I want to ask you this. So, tell me, there's got to be some reason people are still sticking around in the U.S. Tell me, in the past 11 years, has there been pros? Has there been stuff where you're like, all right, this stuff is at least better than it was back home? Is there anything you could think about?
Honestly, just being able to like express yourself, because like if I was back in El Salvador, like religion is such a huge part of the culture that like me saying something like, oh, I don't really believe in God, it's like almost like frowned upon, like being able to just really be yourself. Like, from time to time I paint my nails, or if I wanted my hair to be pink, there's plenty of people doing that in the U.S., where in other countries it's just not, you're going to get some weird looks and you're not going to be comfortable. That's pretty cool. I think that, like, being able to open a business and kind of, like, get it going fairly quickly is pretty cool, too. I don't have one of my own, but it seems like everybody's opening an LLC lately.
Is that something you thought about doing?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I have a photography business, and I do YouTube here and there, but it's I love cameras and like anything media related. Like when I got my green card, the judge asked me, he was like, hey, once you graduate high school, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be a movie director. Not realizing how long that can take, but something I can still do.
You said what do you make YouTube videos about?
Mainly cameras, and I got an e-bike recently. It's mainly stuff that I'm like, yeah, dude. Have you tried one?
No, well, okay. So I actually I'm in New York now. And I think I'm gonna get a fucking e-bike, dude. I'm like going to the e-bike stores. I'm shopping around for it. I'm trying to get one of those. I'm trying to get an e-bike. Do you suggest it?
I so suggest it. The only anxiety about it that I have right now is that apparently they're like super easy to steal, or like people love stealing them.
Right.
So that's the only issue. But it's funny. I actually got the e-bike because I have a friend that lives in New York, and I want to take it to ride around in New York because it seems like it'd be a lot of fun to do that there.
The only problem is when you're riding an e-bike, there is a chance that you will get hit by a car and die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or walk funny for the rest of your life, and people will make fun of you.
I just watched. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that about anything, though. I mean, you can walk outside of the house and trip and hit your head,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
The e-bike I got, it's like $1,000. It's like a cheapo, like electric e-bike that looks like one of those like cafe racers.
That's cool. No, I was looking at something like that around that price range.
Yeah. I got it on Amazon, and I'm like paying monthly for it, so it's not even like anything crazy expensive, because they can go up to like $5K.
So, what do you do with your life in the U.S.?
Right now I'm actually going to school, so I'm going to school to have like a solid job. I'm getting it's essentially cybersecurity. That is an umbrella degree, so it's just in the tech stuff. That's to have a solid income. I'm really passionate about like the photography stuff, but it's so difficult to get business with that it's just not that reliable. It's like I'm trying to be a rock star, you know. It can happen. It's just I shouldn't rely on it too much, you know.
So if you did go back to El Salvador, when do you think you would do it? Would you wait until you finish school?
Yeah, pretty much. So you know what I want to do? I want to get a degree in the U.S. to, you know, try to do something within the U.S. that's tech related and potentially like be remote. Like, it'd be so cool to have a job that pays you U.S. money and live in a country like El Salvador.
Oh, bro.
Where stuff is a little bit cheaper, you know? Like, yeah.
I mean, that's the life hack right there. And also, you know, I was just thinking that I literally just had this thought just now. I'm like, you know, it's really... I think the thing that holds me back from moving to a foreign country is that I don't know anyone in El Salvador or Southeast Asia or anything like that. But for you to take your U.S. dollars and your U.S. job and go back to a foreign country where you have, I mean, not a foreign country, but to go back to go home where you have your friends and your family, and I mean, you'll just be balling the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
you
move.
know, and like a house, you can definitely get a house for like $50,000, and it'll be like a nice ass house.
That's crazy.
You know, stuff is here and there cheap and whatnot. By the way, if you ever want to travel around there, El Salvador is like the perfect place to go right now. And apparently, I didn't know this, but Belize, like their main language is English.
Really?
Yeah. And then the secondary language is Spanish, I guess. I guess they also have a lot of, like, I think it was Mormon people. There's like a huge community of Mormons, and I believe it was Mormons. But yeah, I thought that was kind of wild that most people don't know that.
What's your name again?
Rolando.
Rolando, it's been really good talking to you. This has been super interesting.
Cool, thanks, man.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the... Actually, no, I want to do that. I want to do this real quick before I let you go. Does the chat have any questions for Rolando about any of this stuff? I'm going to let the chat ask a few questions. Someone in the chat said, if you die on an e-bike, you deserve it. And you know what? I the thing that you said about like you can die just walking outside. Your likelihood to die riding an e-bike in New York City is way higher than just walking around.
Oh yeah,
but like undeniably so. Okay, what's the top speed on your e-bike?
I think it's 30 miles per hour. It can do 40, but I'm a fat ass, so it only tops up at 30. So it's nothing crazy fast.
Someone said, what do you do now for work? You said you're in school, but do you do work too?
Unfortunately, I do sales. I work at a wireless company selling cell phones.
Totally thought you were going to say you do e-bike sales. Yeah.
No, I sell cell phones, and it's been really boring because all of these new iPhones that are coming out are the same thing every year, man.
Someone asked, will you bring your mom to America? But your mom's already in America with you.
Yeah, she was the first one here, and then she brought me over here.
Someone said you can't look cool on an e-bike. I disagree. I think I've seen some e-bikes and I'm like, these would be really cool.
Honestly, that was like my biggest concern. because I don't want to
Honestly,
look.
sounds
Dirt,
like a lot of people in chat are jealous that they don't have e-bikes. Is what I'm getting.
They're so
from-
much fun,
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
honestly, most people think they're like more expensive than they actually are. Like
No,
I
for
got
real.
one for $1,000 on Amazon, and if you want to, you can pay monthly for it. If you want to pay monthly for it, I think it's like $30 a month.
Whoa,
I
really?
just have to pay the I just have to pay the shipping, which was like, I think it was like 200 or something like that.
Final question. Someone says, "Oh, do you have any other family members down there who are planning to come to the U.S.?"
You know, it's funny. I've asked multiple people. Like my dad lives down there. Like most of my family, like my grandparents, they now that the country's doing better, they don't want to leave. They're pretty happy over there.
How long did it take for the country to do better and not be overtaken by gangs?
There's and look into this president because he's been doing a lot of cool stuff. But his name is Nayib Bukele. So it's just a Salvadorian president. He's a younger guy. I think I forget how old he is. He's within 40 to 30 age range, and he changed the country completely. He basically, if you had gang tattoos, if you were gang affiliated, you were going to jail. So everybody that's affiliated to that gang is currently in jail, and it brought down the crime rate like to crazy low.
Wow, that sounds like what a crazy thing to tackle. Like how do you crack down on that? There must be like insane amounts of corruption to deal with. Yeah.
He basically went into the government. He did an investigation on everybody that worked under his name, and essentially fired anybody and threw anybody that wasn't doing their job correctly. Obviously, if they were breaking the law, and to jail.
Get fucked.
Like that. Yeah, exactly. So there's plenty of videos on YouTube about it, but it's pretty cool. And it's not the crazy thing is not that many people know about it, and it's like 2 countries away on this side of the planet.
Get fucked. All right, I gotta check out El Salvador. I'm gonna put it on my. I want to travel. I want to go most places before I die. I think that's what you should do. Is you should see stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So all right, I'll put El Salvador on my list.
Yeah, you like it, man.
Beautiful. Have a good night, Rolando. Thanks for calling.
Take care. Nice. Bye-bye.
That was a good call. Attention listeners of the Therapy Gecko podcast. Did you know that I do a live version of this podcast on stage, in person, in front of real people, and that I'm doing this live show in several cities across the United States this year, and that tickets are available right now at therapygeckotour.com or at the link in the episode description? It is all true. I'm currently on my 3rd tour doing Therapy Gecko live all around the country, and it is the most fun, sick, amazing thing ever, and you should come out and be a part of it. The shows involve a mix of material and presentations from myself, combined with a group Gecko therapy session where members of the audience come on stage to share things from their lives in front of a big group of people, just like we do here on the podcast. Whether you're a fan of the podcast or you have no idea what this is and you clicked on it by accident, you're going to have a great time at the live show. Once again, tickets are available right now at therapygeckotour.com or at the link in the episode description. These are really fun shows. They're always wild, they're always unpredictable, and I hope to see you guys there.
Hello?
Hi, what is your name?
Hi, I'm Bean.
Bean. What's up, Bean? I'm
Yes.
a gecko.
Hi, nice to talk to you.
How's life?
Life is a little crazy, but I don't know, I guess in a good way and in a bad way.
Life is a little crazy. It might actually be the craziest thing there ever was.
I guess we wouldn't have anything else to compare it to otherwise, but it is pretty crazy.
Well, what do you want to talk about today?
As I said in my text, I am an online content creator, an online adult content creator, and I'm kind of living a double life. Like, my parents don't know about it. Like, I don't know, like I'm 29, not necessarily like they have to know about it, but I am very close to them, and like I tell them I still work at Walmart, and I don't, and it's just like keeping track of all these lies isn't fun, and I'm like putting my face out there and getting more popular, so I'm like, it's going to happen eventually, and I don't know how to address it.
You're getting more popular. What's your main platform?
I post a lot on like Reddit and FetLife. And I'm starting to get more popular on Twitter, or I guess X now.
Mm-hmm. And let me ask you this: are you having fun?
Yes. For the most part, I am having fun. But I don't know, like, because I'm actually doing this like full time now. Like, it's how I support myself. It's starting to feel like a job. Like, I guess, like, at the end of the day, like, anything, like, you get tired of it. And sometimes, like, I get so burnt out, like, pretending that, like, I'm more attracted to these guys than I really am, just, like, for the sake of making content, you know?
Everything just becomes a job. I mean, this is my job, is being a gecko and talking to people, and it's definitely, while still fun, while a great, amazing job, still a job, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I guess fun, maybe fun's not the word. Fun's part of it. Are you
For sure.
Are you enjoying it? Are you happy with it being what you are doing with your life?
Yes and no. Again, I, like, before this, all I was doing was like working retail, and I was going to be a chef. Like, I went to culinary school, and being a chef is just not for me. It's way too stressful. So, like, all things considered, like, this is way better than anything else I've ever done. I'm having fun, but I also, like, worry because, like, there's such a stigma around, like, doing stuff like this and being I guess I'm not necessarily a sex worker, but I am at the same time. I, like, worry because, like, I put my face out there. So, like, if I choose one day to not do this, like, am I, like, fucking myself up in the future, you know?
Well, in what way do you feel as though you're fucking yourself up in the future?
Like, if, I don't know, I guess, like, I've always had the fear, like, or the idea instilled in me, like, everything on the internet lasts forever, and that's incredibly true. Like,
yeah,
even if I delete everything, like, people save stuff and, like, they can continue to post it, so it doesn't disappear.
Right.
So if, like, a future employer sees that and they're like, oh, that's not okay, and so another, like, I've made some content, like, at work, and, like, that's also, like, a reason, like, why I got, like, so popular. And I didn't.
What can I ask where you work? Were you sticking your penis into donut holes at the Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, you caught me. No, I was like taking my tits out at, like, the retail store I worked at, and
nice.
I got worried that I would eventually, like, get caught, and people, like, started to recognize me in, like, any ways. Nice. You know, like, I wasn't, like, overtly, like, saying, like, oh, hey, this is where I work, but, like, people would recognize me, like, oh, hey, I like your stuff, and, like, it made me worry. So I just quit, and now this is what I'm doing.
Well, okay, future employers. What?
Yeah.
All right, I mean, you're 29, right?
Yeah.
You've been alive long enough that, and while all these things could change, you've been alive long enough that you have some semblance of an idea of how you want to live, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, when you really break it down, in what way do you feel as though people knowing that you've done porn or whatever negatively interferes with that way that you want to live your life? Like, if like weave through all the bullshit and all the people being like, oh, I've seen your tits, like, that's the real question. That's the real question to ask yourself.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know, my biggest fear is I just don't want to get fired from another job because they're like, oh, I don't want you taking your tits out here. Just, I understand that, but.
But are you not? I mean, is it a financial worry? I assume, are you making good money doing this?
Yeah, a decent amount.
Okay.
And I don't know, I mainly I'm just on Fansly and everything. I don't have an OnlyFans anymore. But it's been pretty chill, and I don't know, I guess I also worry about my safety and everything, because
Sure.
I'm a single female, and I live alone, so putting myself out there so publicly, does that put me in danger as well?
Sure. So
could.
But I guess I mean, for the future, do you want to work for yourself, or do you want to get a job working for someone else?
Honestly, I kind of like working for myself. I like having my own schedule and doing what I want when I want.
I mean, to get super practical, I mean, if I were you, I would just, do this for as long as you want to, save up. Just, I mean, literally, just do it for as long as you want to, save some money, and then when you don't want to do it, take whatever money you saved and start something else.
Yeah.
Because we don't, and this has nothing to, this is not it could be sex work, or it could be anything. This is we don't live in a universe where your capacity to do things is so heavily gate kept by what other people think of you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't think we live in that universe so much anymore, and that's why I don't think you maybe have as much to worry about as you think.
Fair enough. So I told you that my parents don't know, right? And I don't think that they would stop talking to me because of that, but I think they'd probably judge me. I am worried about the possibility of my sister cutting off contact with me and my nieces, just because she does not like porn at all. I don't know if she'd ever do that, but I worry about things like that too.
That would be really sad.
That would be.
That would be really sad. And I'm sorry to hear that you feel like your sister would do that.
I hope she wouldn't, but I get worried about these things. But.
Well, do you want to plug? You can plug if you want.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
No, I'm sorry to hear about that. I don't know what to do, because that makes me sad, because I mean, I don't know, man. If I found out my sister was doing porn, I wouldn't want to see it. But
yeah, fair.
I wouldn't give a shit. Especially if she's 29 years old.
Yeah, I am an adult and I can make my own decisions.
Yeah. If you were to start another business, what would you do?
I mean, I don't know. I guess just I love being creative, and I actually found out that I like editing, so maybe being a full-time editor for somebody, so I wouldn't even have to worry about I feel like it's a lot easier if I'm working from home and not customer facing and worrying about people recognizing me, even though it's not that big of a deal. I just don't want to be stalked or anything like that. So
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many options. I'm thinking about going back to school and everything too. I don't know what I want to do with my life. I just want to be mostly happy.
Well, that's good. I think you'll be okay. I don't know if that's an empty thing to say, but I feel that way. I do mean
no,
it.
It's not. It's a comforting thing, just reminding yourself you're going to be okay sometimes, I'm
going to ask the chat if they have any questions for you. Chat, do you have any questions? What's your name? Bean? Chat, do you have any questions for Bean? What is Bean? I assume Bean's not your real name.
No, that's
How did you arrive at the name Bean?
So I don't even. My mom used to call me Bean growing up, and it's just something that popped in my head.
Someone asked what the craziest porn you have ever done is.
The crazy, I don't know, probably like doing a gangbang or like a spit roast or just like getting fucked in public.
A spit roast? That sounds, did that hurt? That sounds painful.
Well, it depends on how you do it. But if you have like somebody on each end, you know, it's not too bad.
Someone wants to know what the largest amount of money you've made is.
I made a lot more on OnlyFans. Like I think like the largest amount I made in a month, which was probably like 4,000 to 5,000.
It's pretty good. Someone says, do you have friends who you can share this part of your life with?
Yes, I have a couple of friends. I need more of them though, but don't we all?
Do you have other friends who also do this for a living?
No, I need more content creator friends. Also, I need a real therapist as well, but that's because I'm I'm not unemployed. I'm self-employed. I don't have a health insurance at the moment.
By the way, I'm just seeing a fucking real therapist is so, it's so hard to, even if you're going through your insurance, it's so fucking hard to find one.
I hate it. That's a whole other issue.
There's some more questions. Someone wants to know, how often do you leave feeling satisfied with your experience versus unhappy?
I feel like a good 75% of the time I feel satisfied. But sometimes, like, things just, like, make me feel icky, you know?
Then finally, someone asked, are you saving money?
No, I need to be. I have a trip coming up, and I've been saving money for that, but I need to put down more money for other things, you know?
Well, Bean, thanks for sharing. Yeah, someone suggested a Roth IRA. This would be the second. I'm on a new kick where I set up all my callers with Roth IRAs at the end of each call.
What is that?
It's like you put money into an account, and then in 100 years when you're dead, it'll be worth more money. Bean, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
And thank you so much for talking to me. Thank you, chat, for having interesting questions. I hope y'all have a great night. And I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Just thank you.
Have a good night, Bean. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
You know, I've been thinking about it. And please let me know in the comments or the what did you think of this podcast Spotify Interact fucking thing. I think retirement accounts are stupid. I opened one. I put a little bit of money in it, but I kind of think they're dumb because all right. So the Roth IRA, you pay taxes, right, on your money, and then after that, you take that money and you put it in a Roth IRA account, and then you can invest it in the stock market, and then when you're 60 years old, you can take the gains out tax-free. But you can't, but here's the thing, you can't touch that money until you're 60 years old. So it's like, look, I might be dead by then. What the fuck am I saving money for a time when I'll be dead? I think it doesn't make any sense. And even if I'm not dead, like let's say I make it to 60, I'm gonna only have like a couple years after that. So, don't open a retirement account. Spend all of your money on Funko Pops and ice cream. That's my official, and you can quote me on that. That's something I said, and I mean, and I will never change my opinion on ever. And you know what? I am an official financial advisor. Keep that in. No, I'm not. I'm not an official financial advisor. Never mind.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hello, are you the Gecko? Mr. Gecko?
Yes, who are you?
Hi, my name is Jay.
What's your name?
Jay.
Oh, I asked you that twice, didn't I?
No, it's okay.
I think I have like, I think I have like dementia or something.
No, it's okay. I might have schizophrenia.
It's not funny. It's really bad.
Oh shit, for real.
No,
What are your...
I don't know. Who cares? What's your name again? That was real. That wasn't a jit. That wasn't a bit. I genuinely need you to tell me your name
mine
again.
Mine wasn't a bit either. I used to see like ghosts as a kid, and sometimes I'm like, I'm wondering if it's real or if it was just me having schizophrenic episodes all the time. But then other people will come forward and be like, yeah, I've totally seen ghosts too. And so it makes me feel less crazy.
Well, Jay, what's your name again? No, that was a joke. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, it'd be cool if you could give me life advice. I don't know. I guess I could talk about ghost stories. I could talk about having cancer.
I'm sorry. You want me to give you life advice?
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
About what?
So the thing is, I'm living with my parents, and I had to live with my parents because I got cancer, and I'm broke on my ass. I don't really feel like I'm living my life to the best that I can be, especially considering I nearly fucking died. I don't know how to proceed. I don't know how to go forward or how to like rebuild my life back up to where it used to be, because I feel like I've lost a sense of independence, and my parents are like kind of crazy, but not really. Like, it's tolerable most days if I'm respectful, but sometimes like something will happen and it'll flare up, and then I sort of like clamshell up again. But would you say free rent but emotional distress? Should I stay living at home, save up money, get the fuck out of the country, or move out, don't have a lot of money, I might potentially not be able to move to my dream country? What is your advice, good sir?
I don't know if I have advice. I have questions. Or do you still have cancer?
Nope, in remission as of March. Yippee.
Well, look at that. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
You have something more important than money, which is you're not dead, which is good. Because think about how broke dead people are.
They don't got no money, no assets. Everything's to their next of kin. I mean, sometimes you die and you like leave behind tons of dead.
Right,
so
but when you leave something behind, that means you don't have it anymore. So when you leave behind your money, you go broke. The Elon Musk, when he dies, I'm gonna be richer than him. He will have no money in the after. You will be richer than Elon Musk when he dies. So think about all the wealth that you have right there in that you're not dead.
Wow, good thing I didn't die.
So,
then. I'm super rich.
I mean, no, for real, you actually are super rich because you didn't die. That's amazing. What? So now you're how long have you been in remission?
Only a couple months. So
okay.
My plan was I'm going to stay in the country for as long as I'm in remission until I'm cancer free. Just because I feel like it's a nightmare to like go to another country and like deal with health bullshit while potentially not having insurance in that country. Unless maybe I could go to Japan. I hear they have good foreigners insurance, but you know.
Do you have any money? Do you have any savings?
Honestly, no. I'm like in the negatives because I was like, oh, I have a job. Now I can like go on all these little trips. And then they fucking fired me. Like,
sure. Do you have a job now?
Well, nope, I'm still looking.
Okay. I mean, you're 23?
Yep.
Why not? Here's I feel like more and more I'm becoming like a personal finance gecko or something. But so how long have you been looking for a job?
I got fired Monday, so since then.
What was your job?
I was working at a coffee shop. It was honestly I really loved it. The environment was great. My coworkers were nice, but I just showed up late. I just showed up late to work literally every day. So that was fair. Understandable. Yeah, have a great day. The other half, they fired me. I was like, I probably don't want to say it out loud because I feel like it'll give me away. But that being said, I was a little pissed off how management handled it.
What do you mean give you away?
Oh, I just kind of want to. I don't want to like I don't want to give this company shit because I think the way they handled the situation was really poor. But that's my personal opinion.
Was it Starbucks?
No, it was not Starbucks. I'm actually applying for Starbucks though.
Was it Dunkin' Donuts?
No.
Was it Dutch Bros coffee shop? I can easily guess it. I'll just go down the list of coffee shops.
Okay, go.
Was it Dutch Bros?
No.
Was it Tim Hortons?
No.
Fuck, I don't know any other coffee shops.
That's okay. I give you an honest A for trying. Good job.
But I guess back to your situation. Why don't you just fucking? You want me to I think I actually have advice. I mean, how bad is your situation with your parents?
Well, most of the time they can be civil, and I've definitely grown a backbone over the years and been able to like establish better boundaries with them. But it's honestly really stressful, like kind of being in an environment where I'm like semi-controlled all the time, and I'm like queer and they're homophobic, so that's really stressful too.
Do they hit you?
No.
Okay. Do you feel like you're in danger at all?
So, not anymore is the short answer.
Okay. What's the long answer?
The long answer is they were kind of shitty when I was younger, but I think they just had their own mental shit they couldn't deal with that affected their ability to be good parents. And on top of that, they just kind of never really addressed any of their mental issues. So I feel like it sort of like ricocheted back onto me. And that was like super stressful to grow up with. But now that I'm an adult and like getting cancer, definitely kind of like soften them up a bit. Unfortunately, like terrible things happening to you brings people closer to you is my experience, which is not ideal, but yeah.
Well, what's your dream country that you said?
Australia. I would love
Australia?
to live in
Oh, why Australia?
I did a study abroad there, like right before I got cancer, and then it was like amazing. It was like they had literally beaches along the coast, and like it was just so like.
By the way,
plans.
No offense, no offense to Australians, but it's just like, I mean, Australia's fucking. It's like if you had told me that your dream country was somewhere less expensive than America, which is most places, really. But Australia, I think, might be more.
Yeah, it's $1 million to buy a house.
So you want to move to Australia?
Yes, ideally, that would be a very wonderful life goal, bucket list item. It's okay.
Do you have a degree of any kind in anything?
I do. It's an art studies degree.
Art studies? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll get a degree in something I like doing. And now I cannot get a proper job. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucked yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. By the way, I just want to say it's okay to admit when you've taken an L. There's no shame in it. Really, I mean, it really is. But I genuinely mean this. I if I were you for the rest of my life, I would actually just look at I would just add, but at least I didn't die of cancer to the end of every single thing he ever said. I mean, anyway, you don't even have to have had cancer to do that. You know, you can do that if you never had cancer. You could be like, oh, I got a I could be like, oh, I got a flat tire and I'm locked out of my apartment, but at least I didn't get shot in the head just now. And you could be, there's a lot of happiness in that. There really is an unlimited amount of happiness in that. Here's what I think.
That's true.
Is why don't you like you need a like a logistical plan. You need to like go on the fucking internet and look up and find a dollar amount that you need in your bank account for you to you need a plan. You need a dollar amount that it would cost to execute that plan, and then another plan as to how you are going to save up that dollar amount. So you need 2 plans. That's my advice.
Okay.
Is to go on the internet, chat GPT, whatever the fuck, and develop and execute those 2 plans.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Have you looked into this shit? Have you gone moving to Australia Reddit on Google and seen what's up?
Oh shit, I didn't think about Reddit. I've been mostly like looking up travel agencies, but a lot of them like
travel
cost
agencies.
money. Yeah, like there's like international travel agencies, at least for Australia, and they can if you pay the money, they help you like establish which visa you can use. And
By the way, before you move to Australia, before you buy a visa, take a trip. Have you ever been?
oh yeah, that's where I did my study abroad.
Oh, right. Okay, you told me that already. All right, so you've been. All right. I mean, how much is a visa?
It was a lot. Well, for a visiting visa, it's only like, I think, $350 American dollars. I am not
Really?
sure.
That's like nothing.
Yeah. For just like a work and it's like a work and vacation visa or something, and you can be there for like 6 months, and that's the one I got. So
All right.
like, yeah, this is if you want to go to Australia, this is your call. You don't get a visa, and then. But the thing is, to stay there permanently, you can either like recycle that visa every year, or you can like find some way to like have a job sponsor you, or like, or like if you have a family member in Australia, you can like reconnect with them or something. But
All right.
this is just like, honestly, I'm talking out of my ass. Like I have no fucking clue how to get any of this done. I just know it exists and can happen, but I don't know how to like. I feel like the hot take would be like, oh, get a job to sponsor me. But then like they're probably going to really overwork me. And the whole reason why I want to be in Australia is so I can go to the beach. Like the really cool beaches with jellyfish.
The whole reason you want to go to Australia is to go to the beach?
Yeah.
Let me hold on. Dude, bro.
Nice.
Okay, hold on, dude. I seriously,
California isn't the same.
Dude, if all you want to do is like work as little as possible and go to the beach, there are 8 billion other countries that are way better to do that in than Australia.
Yeah, but
No, for real, you can do that, but just Australia is the worst place to do it. It's too expensive.
Huh. Okay. Fair enough.
Like, go to fucking if you really wanted to, you could live in your parents' house for 2 years and never leave your room and save up all your money and then take it to some random town in Southeast Asia and just hang out there for a while. And, Australia is just the worst place for you to do this plan, I think. But go crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's your life. That's my only advice to you is to come up with a dollar amount that you need to do whatever you want to do, and then a plan on how you're gonna get there. That's my only advice.
That's fair.
And to also just be like, hey man, I didn't die of cancer. Like, we're chill. I want to tell. I was with my friend, and we were we were in DC, and we were walking by the water, and we wanted to smoke a joint. And we were like, we asked this guy for a lighter. He was like taking some shit out of his car, He was ripped. He was super ripped. He had a shirt on it. He had a shirt on that said "I love Jesus," and he was like, "Let me go. I think I have a lighter in my car." And we were like, "How you doing today, man?" And he was like, he looked us. He made really sincere eye contact into both of our eyes. Not at once. That would look funny, but. And he said,
Oh my God.
very sincerely, he said, "I'm doing incredible. I woke up today."
Aww.
Like as if we were like crazy for asking. He's like, "I woke up. I'm breathing." And
Wow.
he and my friend and I we thought about that all day. Just this guy, this really impacted us. And I was like, man, that guy, he really knows the fucking secret to life. This guy. So, you know, carry that, and Australia sucks. No, Australia doesn't suck. I didn't mean that. I actually I like Australia a lot. It's just expensive compared to anywhere else you can escape your life to go to.
That's real. That's real. It's beautiful, but I guess maybe visiting.
What city do you want to go to?
The worst one, Sydney.
Why is it the worst? Why is I had a great time in Sydney. Why is Sydney the worst one?
Oh, it's like financially, it's the worst one. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's expensive, and it's also the touristy part, so it's like impossible to buy a house in.
If you just want to go to the beach, go to.
Really beautiful.
There's 1,000.
You've been to Australia too?
Yeah, I went. I did a tour of Australia. I went to Sydney. I played a show there. I went into a stranger's home. And I jammed with them. We made music together. It was crazy. It was a good time. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like the ideal Australia experience.
You can have that experience in any place.
Yeah.
What's your name again? Jay. It was Jay, right?
Yeah.
Look who has dementia now. Not your boy. Jay, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
I guess do all the things you want to do with life, because you never know when you'll end up in a hospital bed.
Hey, take care, Jay. Have a good one.
Oh, thank you. You too. Bye-bye.